first one we're gonna look at is about Mr.Beast. Mr.Beast is in huge trouble again by Internet Anarchist. Apparently, he was sued. And I'm gonna be honest, a lot of the drama that happens to, like, Mr.Beast is kind of fabricated. Sometimes there's a little bit of truth to it, but oftentimes it's also very, in my opinion, very fabricated. We'll just look at what he got into again. Like I said, apparently he got sued by Mexico. We'll see.
When you're a creator as big and recognizable as Mr.Beast, it becomes near impossible to avoid controversial situations. However, how on earth does a harmless video about exploring ancient culture escalate into a lawsuit riddle?
Maybe he didn't keep some parts of the deal. Maybe he made a mistake. I don't know. I mean, a simple mistake could already lead to that. And yeah, with being a bigger content creator, that will probably often lead to controversies, because people would just find a reason to get rid of you. If they don't like you, like, they would just straight up search through your past and look for something that seems bad so they can cancel you. That's just pretty normal nowadays. Just look through things that may seem troublesome. That is just normal nowadays.
Scandal involving not just national agencies, but the president of an entire country.
Not gonna lie, you kind of have aura if you have beef with a president. Not gonna lie, you kind of do.
A popular YouTuber is now being criticized for filming in some of Mexico's most important archaeological sites. Mexico's president is asking for details on the permit and warned that there may be sanctions if that permit was violated.
Hi, I'm the Internet Anarchist. I create weekly YouTube documentaries, and today we'll be going over the recent events behind one of Mr.Beast's most unexpected controversies. How it all started, why people are mad at Jimmy, and what the real details about the lawsuit actually are. On the 10th of May 2025, Jimmy published a video titled "I Explored 2,000-Year-Old Ancient Temples," in which he and his crew visited the ancient Chichen Itza temple.
Like I said, I can't watch Mr.Beast content mainly also because it's like, for me it's just like, it's not my style. It's fast, it's very quickly edited, it's very it's targeted towards a younger audience. I'm just not the target audience for this kind of content. And I would probably say that this probably also has a lot of educational background for it. It's just not my style. I like the Beast games, but the problem with, like, a lot of that stuff is that he just picks oftentimes also just picks randos. I feel like he should take people that I guess financially it would be more beneficial to pick people that are in a very known in the space, or yeah, in general, just people, celebrities, big content creators, right? I feel like that would maybe make me more interested, but yeah, I don't think so. That I'm just not the target audience.
And several other archaeological sites in Mexico.
We'll be exploring dozens of ancient temples, all of which hide ancient Mayan secrets from the world deep underground.
From navigating underground tombs to inspecting artifacts, Jimmy's team made a conscious effort to take the video beyond flashy entertainment and provided educational insights about the culture viewers might not have known otherwise.
Now that we're at the end, you said you had a surprise.
Yes, this has been found in the last 2 decades.
Oh. Whoa, what?
It is a funerary mask. And this is the face of one of the kings of the Snake Kingdom.
The Mayans used masks like this one to shield those that have passed away from dangers on their journey to the underworld. Can I hold it?
Yes.
Oh. This was made over 1,000 years ago.
Yes.
I would not touch that. I would not touch that, mainly because I would be scared of dropping it. What if I drop it? Oh god, nah, I wouldn't touch this at all.
Which means my great-great-great-great-great-grandparents weren't even alive. Why is this not in a museum? Why is a YouTuber holding this? Get this away from me. Take it, take it.
Don't tell anybody.
Okay, I totally won't show 200 million people.
Culturally significant sites like these are often highly restricted areas that even most archaeologists aren't even given access to. However, for some reason, Jimmy was seemingly given privileged access to the area, something he made sure to point out in the video.
It's actually a pyramid built on top of a pyramid. So the deeper we go in, the older things get. Be careful, boys.
It's so sketchy, Jimmy.
Can't believe the government's letting us do this. It really is crazy. Not even archaeologists are allowed to go back.
However, there were parts of the area Jimmy's team couldn't set foot in.
At the top of the
Yeah, I wanted to say that. The top is probably very holy and you cannot go in there. Nobody can go in there. Hopefully they didn't do anything with that.
This pyramid is a temple so sacred to the locals that no one is allowed up there. Out of respect for the culture and all the people who hold this very sacred, we are not going to touch the temple.
As unassuming as the video and its contents might have been, it was about to spiral into a much larger controversy that no one, not even Jimmy, could have seen coming. By the
Here's my prediction of what he did. For now, it seems everything seems very, what's the word? Everything seems very chill, very, you know, educational. For now, it doesn't seem disrespectful at all. Here's my prediction: he placed an ad in there, and that ad effed him over. What are the chances? Probably paid for the access. Very likely, very likely. I don't know how everyone is attacking Mr.Beast. Very simple. He's a big content creator. People are jealous. People will find anything to harm him. Not only that, of course, some controversies, there's certainly some truth to it. Like when he hires people that he just should not hire, like a known criminal, I don't think that's a good idea. He doesn't do background checks. How some people are treated, obviously. Some other things, like some of the food things that he did, like the Beast Burger being absolute dog shit. Those are one. The initial, like the chocolate bar, the initial one, that was also one, including the Beast games. People exposed him because of injury. To be fair, some of these I don't particularly trust because of how much time it took for them to actually come out with the truth. I feel like this, like I said, a lot of it is fabricated, but a lot of it also has some truth to it.
15th of May 2025, Mexico's National Institute of Anthropology and History, otherwise known as INAH, released the following statement about Jimmy's latest video on Twitter. Regarding the video released by YouTuber Mr.Beast, we are pleased that YouTubers and all the young people around the world appreciate the value of our ancestral civilizations. What the INAH strongly condemns is that there are those who take advantage of the goodwill of institutions to commit abuses. Furthermore, the INAH condemns those who, for commercial gain and private profit, dare to distort the value of archaeological sites, which are a legacy of our indigenous cultures and the pride of our nation. Following this, the INAH pointed out their major concerns with Jimmy's video and outlined the steps they'd be taking to correct these issues. Reading, the permit issued to Full Circle Media, representing Mr.Beast, did not authorize the publication of false information or the use of images from archaeological sites to advertise trademarks for private profit. The nation's
Okay, so it is because of an ad. Okay, it is because of an ad. Okay, it has to be because of an ad. Yeah, okay. Probably Feastables. There's a good chance.
heritage, which is public by nature, cannot be exploited by commercial enterprises. For this reason, the INAH has filed an administrative lawsuit against the production company, demanding compensation for damages and a public retraction for failure to comply with the terms of the permits issued in good faith by the institution. At a first glance, this post seems incredibly damning for Jimmy and raises questions about how his team violated the terms of agreement with INAH. Was it because the video was monetized? Did the advertisement in the video count as private profit? Or perhaps the problem wasn't with Jimmy's video presentation at all? A few days before the INAH made that statement on Twitter, they published a press release regarding how the video was filmed and regulated. Reading, the visit and recording that took place in the archaeological zones was carried out in accordance with requests made formally by the Federal Tourism Secretariat and the governments of the two states mentioned. In addition to this, they corrected some of the misrepresented facts Jimmy made during the video. Reading, in the case of Chichen Itza, we clarify that no drone flight was made inside El Castillo. As falsely mentioned in the video, this flight was made outside the structure. Obviously, the video has extensive audio-visual post-production work and alludes to events that did not occur, such as the one that the producers never descended from a—
Wait, so there were lies about information, okay. Okay, but the statement before that was because of some advertisement. Odd. Odd.
Helicopter, nor did they spend the night within the archaeological zone or have any mask in their possession. Pre-Hispanic, because the one they present is clearly contemporary reproduction. All of them are false assertions that obey the theatricality of the YouTuber in question. Even the governor of Campeche came out with a statement affirming Jimmy's adherence to regulations, reading, "Mr.Beast's team acted at all times with utmost responsibility and respect towards our ancestral heritage. All necessary permits and legal procedures were duly processed and authorized by the INAHMX, who were present during the filming alongside Sector Campeche and the government of Campeche. All of this would lead one..."
Wait, so he did nothing? Then he did nothing wrong. He didn't do anything wrong in that regard. Because, like, the people crying about it were literally there. If he did something wrong, they would have literally stopped him. If he were about to do something wrong. That feels clearly... There's clearly something wrong. There's clearly something wrong.
To believe that the lawsuit wasn't filed because of anything Jimmy did personally, but rather some mistakes on the part of the associated production company, Full Circle Media. However, this didn't stop people from assuming Jimmy was part of the lawsuit or criticizing him for entering the archaeological site in the first place.
Now, adding to the controversy, Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum herself has requested clarification on the conditions under which Mr.Beast and his crew were granted access to these historically significant locations. But the core of the dispute lies in the alleged commercial exploitation of these sites. In fact, throughout the video, Mr.Beast is seen promoting his own brand of snacks, even referring to them as Mayan approved. And the Institute is...
Oh man, it is the Feastable ad. It is the ad. Well, there we have it, right? That's pretty much it, right? Then I'm correct from the beginning. It is, in fact, that he just advertised his own brand. Well, that's a problem. Imagine reality, someone do something wrong but have friends and connections to hide the wrong from the people who want to fix the balance, but that's just hot take. Well, according to the video here, he hasn't particularly done anything wrong. He only, well, the thing that he did wrong was advertising his own brand. That's the big deal.
Research that the permit granted to Full Circle Media was solely for filming purposes and did not extend to the promotion of private brands. The sentiment is echoed by locals in the region, and in Mérida, the capital of Yucatan state, residents, including tour guides, have voiced their disapproval for the preferential access seemingly granted to the YouTuber.
With the media cycle in full swing and criticism coming in every direction, Jimmy had two choices. Either 1, let things run their course and let the controversy die down on its own, or 2, speak up and clarify the situation. Fortunately for Jimmy, he chose the latter. But would that be enough to convince those who already assumed he was in the wrong? By the 18th of May 2025, Jimmy tweeted out the following statement defending his visit to the ancient Mayan temples, reading, "I've seen a lot of stories about our recent video in Mexico and wanted to clear some false things being said. We did this video to get people all over the world excited to learn more about their culture. Much like we did with our pyramids video, we are not and never have been sued by them, lol. That is false, and it saddens me to see people spreading lies. We filmed with full permits, followed guidelines, had representatives from government agencies following us, Mexican archaeologists to make sure we were accurate, and representatives from sites to ensure we were following the rules." To fully get his point across, Jimmy included several statements from the governor that support the stance of no lawsuit being filed against him, reading, "This material, by the way, was produced with respect and professionalism. I'm surprised that, on the other hand, the Ministry of Culture wants to sanction the production for its adaptations for an international youth and children's audience, which are typical characteristics of visual literature. These adaptations do not violate current law." Regarding concerns about the advertising featured in the video, Jimmy made it clear that all government agencies were aware of the Feastables ad and...
So let me get this straight. Some government institution had a crash out over Mr.Beast advertising his own brand. Even though everyone basically knew that the advertisement was in the video. Huh. Somebody's lying here. That much is true. Somebody's lying here. But the thing is this, if they were there, right? If they were there, right? Then basically, it's even if they didn't know, that's still their own fault. Because, you know, they could have stopped him.
And everything in the video was pre-approved. He also shared a few extra details that show the visit had other positive impacts on the surrounding communities beyond mere exposure. Reading, "They were aware of us mentioning Feastables in the video, but for the respect of the sites, it was filmed off-site from any national monuments. The dinner scene where I made the Feastables joke was not near any main temples. We also never planned on sharing this, but as always, my hand is forced by false headlines. Behind the scenes, we funded wells and water projects in the state. I've also been working with INAH on a fund to support local Mexican archaeology and new discoveries because I wanted to help spread the culture as a thanks for allowing us to film." While it seems Jimmy wouldn't be facing any direct legal action, the same couldn't be said for the production company he collaborated with, as the INAH stated the following a day later. "The administrative legal procedure against the legal entity Full Circle Media, SADCV, due to the violation of the terms of the permit for the production of a documentary video titled Mr.Beast, I Spent 100 Hours Exploring the Mayan Jungle, was notified to the company on May 14th of the current year. The YouTuber used the permit to make another promotional video for his Mr.Beast Feastables chocolate and other commercial brands such as Walmart."
So, Mr.Beast was not sued, but the production company was sued. What? That makes it... I guess they went in on whoever was basically easier to, so to speak, defeat. But that is still wild. Okay, somebody's lying here. And I'm definitely with the... I'm definitely going with the INAH here being the liar.
Walmart, 7-Eleven, Kroger, and Albertsons. This constitutes a violation as it created a production different from the one authorized, with commercial purposes and using the archaeological sites to monetize content through digital platforms. This is prohibited in accordance with the general law of national assets. Naturally, this emerging lawsuit caused some confusion on why INAH was suing the production company even after they had approved the video almost immediately after filming. From Jimmy's earlier statement, it seems the INAH had their agents present during the production and allowed him to include the Feastables ad. So what had changed after the video was released? More importantly, what would the result of the lawsuit mean for the Mr.Beast brand and the production company that he worked with? The current Mr.Beast controversy is the perfect example of doing everything right, but still losing the game. From Jimmy's perspective, he had gone through all the necessary red tapes to get the video produced, even going the extra mile to give back to the community he worked with. However, he inevitably ended up getting caught in controversy on a national scale. Could it be
that would significantly influence me on helping others if I'm being treated like that? Not gonna lie. Is it owned by Mr.Beast? I have no idea. Maybe it is.
Be that the Mr.Beast brand is simply so big that it has become a magnet for contention, or was something amiss behind the scenes? Either way, we can only wait to see how the lawsuit progresses and find out whether or not it will negatively impact Jimmy and his team. If you wish to stay updated, make sure you subscribe.
Very simple. Yeah, subscribe and like the video. For real. Here's my idea, right? Here's what I believe. I believe that he actually did everything correct, at least from what he has shown. Everything seems to be correct. I just think that I don't know. Could it be jealousy? What could it be? What could drive them to sue Mr.Beast for no reason? Of course, we'll never know all the details, but I feel like it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, it doesn't. There's no reason. It seems like he's done everything correct. But we'll have to see if it turns out into something bigger.